Oysters are amazing. A single oyster can filter over 200 liters of water every day. They are also relatively easy to grow, don't require any feed, and are considered a high-quality source of protein, making them one of the most sustainable food sources on the planet. Amazing, right? Well, let's take a closer look at their full life cycle first. Oysters start by building their shells and locking carbon away as calcium carbonate. Then, oysters are removed from the ocean by farmers or fishermen, taking the carbon out of the ocean in doing so. Oysters are shipped from the coast and provided to restaurants in full shell. Once the flesh is eaten, they are simply thrown away. Oyster shells are viewed as a nuisance waste to be disposed of in landfills and public waters. This causes many environmental, health, and sanitation problems since oyster shells degrade very slowly and don't decompose easily. It's also very expensive. In parts of the UK, the proper disposal of shells at a landfill could cost over £80 per ton. The English aquaculture strategy is to increase production by 500% in the next 20 years, from 1,000 tons in 2020 to over 5,000 tons in 2040. While a step in the right direction in the effort to produce more sustainable food, if the current disposal system does not change, this increase in production will generate a lot of waste. This is where we come in. We decided to turn this linear take-eat-waste system into a circular system that safely returns discarded oyster shells back to the environment where they belong. We will do this by using the wasted shells to do two things simultaneously. Restore native oyster populations with an artificial reef and use discarded shells to filter the polluted stormwater being dumped into the river. Native oysters are known as ecosystem engineers. Native oyster reefs serve as storm protection, help remove excess nutrients from the water, and provide suitable habitat for a diversity of organisms. Unfortunately, native oyster populations have declined by 95% in the UK since the mid-19th century. Their disappearance is truly an environmental disaster. At the same time, London's drainage system has both rainwater and wastewater flowing in the same pipe. So when it rains, overcapacity in the pipes causes rainwater to be discharged into the river. This carries with it acid rain, heavy metals, and other pollutants. So, what is our solution? This is the O-Reef Planter, an oyster-based reef planter designed for the intertidal walls that dominate the Thames riverbank. Crushed shells are used for the drainage layer within the planter. This layer not only carries away excess water from the planter, but the calcium carbonate helps neutralize acid rain and act as a bio-filtration medium for reducing heavy metal contamination in the resultant drainage water. The structure is made from crushed oyster shells. Why? Because oyster shells are basically just calcium carbonate, a common material used for building materials like concrete. The outside geometry is designed to encourage native oyster shells to attach to it, and because oysters like growing on old oyster shells, this structure is perfect for them. So, by returning oyster shells back to the environment where they belong, O-Reef Planter can clean London's polluted stormwater and help restore native oyster populations, turning a waste stream into a healthy habitat.